If you ever put your money into that, it's either you're daft or you're a thief. Or maybe you're gullible. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dominion Wealth Zone. My name is Julius Olutokun. It's good to come into your space once again today. Today, we're going to be looking at a wonderful topic, and I believe you will be blown away with this. So please do get ready. Today, I'll be speaking on the topic on 10 things that will keep you poor. I guess you heard that right. 10 things that will keep you poor. You will never ever be rich until you stop doing all these 10 things. You might not be doing all of them now, but until you stop doing every one I'm going to mention here, you will never ever be rich. Please do consider to like, to share, and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit the notification button so that anytime I release any video, you can get the benefit of it ASAP. Without much ado, let us crack on. 10 things that will keep you in poverty. 10 things, don't forget, that will keep you in poverty. You'll be surprised. Number one is coffee. Coffee will keep you exceptionally poor. I used to think that a cup of coffee from these shops is £2.50 until early this year when I did a teaching and I discovered it was about £6 for a cup of coffee. Now, if you buy a coffee jar in any of these stores, you can get it for as much as £2. And that coffee jar will last you almost 6 months, if not 9 months. Meanwhile, if you go to shop to buy, you buy it for £6. Look at the difference. A cup that you're going to finish in 10, 20, or 30 minutes is £6. And a old jar that will take you about 6 months or 9 months is £2. It's a no-brainer. So indulging or spending your money on this coffee will keep you poor. Let's say it's £6 and you buy 20 days a month. Let's say you go to work 20 days, you buy it for 20 days. 6 times 20, that's £120. £180, £120 rather. 6 times 20 is £120 on coffee drinking. And meanwhile, you could buy a cup or a flask and make your coffee at home and drink it. As a matter of fact, the one you make from your home is more richer than in nutrient than the one you buy from the shop. Well, the one you buy from the shop, you cannot talk about the state of the machine. Well, let's not go into all that anyway. But if you want to overcome poverty, you need to stop buying coffee from the shop because it's a rip-off. That's number one thing. Coffee will keep you poor. Number two, you'll be surprised with this again, is eating out. In my first 5 years of staying in the UK, I didn't buy a box of pizza. In other words, I did not eat out. You understand? Eating out is very, very expensive. A meal that you're going to take outside for about £15 or £12 or £9 will cost you less than £2 or £3 to make in your house, and it's going to be more quality from your home. So eating out, if you're in the habit of eating out regularly 3, 4, 5 times a week, you are on the route to poverty. You're on the lane of poverty. You're driving down the slope of poverty. So eating out is something you need to avoid if you want to be rich. Number 3 is credit card debts. Credit card debts. There was a time I did not even have credit card at all. I know credit cards are good in order to build your credit in the UK. I know it's good. You use credit in order to build your credit profile. However, some people have the habit of not being able to control their use of credit card. And there was a teaching I did on credit card arbitrage, how to use credit card to your advantage. I use it to my advantage now. Instead of spending my debit card to buy things, I use my credit card. But I make sure I pay within a month so that I don't have to pay interest. Now, for more than probably 10, 12 years, I've not had to pay a dime of interest on credit card. So I've used it to build my credit without having to pay interest on it. But some people, they build up credit card to about 10, 15, 20,000, and they're paying interest of say about £300-400 a month on it. It's a no-brainer. You're wasting your life. You're wasting your time. However, if you are having credit card now and you are having credit card debts, maybe about 3 or 4, you're having some debts of, what you could do is to consolidate all the debts into one and face one lender instead of facing 5 lenders. Well, that's another teaching for another day. So credit card debt will keep you from being rich. Number 4 is not budgeting. A lot of us make money, but we don't budget. And without budgeting, you will not know how well you're spending your money. You know how much you're making. Probably you have 1 income or 2 income. You know how much you're making. But you'll not be able to have an audit trail of how you're spending your money. You will not be able to look at what is taking my money and what can I cut down on. And I did my budget a few months ago, and I found that one of the properties I have, I was paying about £65 on the internet for that property. And I called the provider and I said, look, I can't afford this again. Of course I can't afford it, I have money. But I said, I can't afford it again because I want to cut it down. I said, can you cut the internet? And they said, why do you want to cut it, Mr. Lutoku? I said, I want to cut it because I can't afford it again. And after going back and forth, the cost of my internet in that house was actually reduced from £65 to £32. So I'm paying about half of the price, in fact less than half of the price, because I did a review of my budget, I did a review of how I'm spending my money, I did a review of everything. You understand? So not budgeting will keep you very, very poor. Number 5 is impulse buying. A lot of people buy things that they don't need in the name of sales. I always say that if you want to buy anything, there's a 2-day rule that you can have. And what is the 2-day rule? The 2-day rule is, I want to buy a camera, I want to buy a phone, or I want to buy a shoe, or I want to buy a shirt. Is to wait for 2 days. I will have gone to price it, check it on the internet, check the various ones, look at the reviews, look at how good they are. Then I'll sit back. Then in 2 days, if I still feel the need to buy it, then I know I'm no more buying based on impulse. I really, really need it. So impulse buying will keep you really poor. So, and that's why some people go, they go for window shopping and they look at things they don't need and they feel, I need it, it's very cheap, and they buy it. You understand? That will keep you poor. I've made that mistake before. I went out to a shopping complex in Sheffield. It's called Meadowhall, about 1 hour from where I live. And I saw this shoe. It was £45 and they're doing a sales for £25. I thought I got it cheap, so I bought it. And I love the shoe. Down the line, a year later, I went to Leeds, which is about 10 miles from where I live. And the same shoe, the same company were doing sales. The company is called Barra. And you will never believe it. Remember, it was £45 a year before, 2 years before. A year before, they said 25. That year, that shoe was on sales for £3. I got so mad. £3. And there were only 7 remaining. I bought all the 7. Same size. They were looking at me. Why do you need it? Although I gave them out, you understand? But the first one I bought was an impulse buying. Second one was still an impulse buying. If it's now, I'm not going to buy it. If I buy it now, although I could give it out, but I'm going to be selling about 6 of them or 5 of them. You understand? So impulse buying will keep you poor. Number 6, smoking. If you're a smoker, I'm not judging you, but smoking will keep you poor. In my youthful days, when I was younger, I think I was about early 20s, I used to have a boss who smokes. One day we went for a meeting, an appointment, business appointment. So I asked him, I said, why do you smoke? And he turned to me and he said, Julius, can I tell you the truth? Don't ever try this in your life. I said, why? He said, it's a bad habit and I'm addicted to it. I want to stop it. I cannot stop it. Now, a pack of cigarettes, I don't know how much they sell it, but I think the last time I asked was about 5 or 6 pounds. And I know people who smoke at least 1 pack a day. 5 times 30, that's 150 pounds every month. Take that into 1 year, you are talking of about 1,000 plus in a year. So you can't, it's about 1,800 in a year. If you put that money on an ISA account for 20 years, you will be very rich. You will be exceptionally rich. So smoking will keep you very, very poor. And the next one is similar to smoking, and that's gambling addiction. It's an addiction too. I knew someone who gambled about over 10,000 pounds away almost 16 years ago or 15 years ago. Over 10,000 pounds within a week. Used it to play gamble, and the money was meant to deposit for their mortgage, and he lost it. I met someone again, I think around that period, who lost about 100,000 pounds in gambling. He told me with his mouth. And I pitied him. And he said, oh, Julius, don't worry, don't pity me. My friend lost about 150,000 pounds. Wow. So gambling will make you poor. You know, gambling starts by £1, £2, and it builds. Before you know, oh, I've just made £10 on my £2. Let me try with that £10. You try again. Then you make for the £10, you might make about another £15. So let me try. Before you know, start gambling with £1,000. So gambling addiction will keep you in poverty. I'm going to tell you 2 things about gambling. Number 1, the people that set up the companies, they didn't set it up for fun. They set up those companies in order to make wealth, to make profit. So your loss is their profit. If people are not losing, those companies will have closed down. That's number 1. Number 2, one of the richest people in the UK today, and the person is building today the tallest building in Manchester. It is 2025. The tallest building in Manchester is being built by this person I'm talking about. This person owns one of the biggest betting companies in the UK. Where did she get the money from? From gamblers. Number 8 is uncontrolled crypto. Crypto is good. I've got crypto accounts. I encourage people to go into crypto. That's where the world is going to be. I got to know about Bitcoin when Bitcoin was about less than £10,000, and today Bitcoin is $105,000. $105,000. Bitcoin is where, or crypto is where the world is going to go into at the end of the day. It's been adopted by institutions, and in 2030, there's a forecast that 1 Bitcoin is going to be worth about $2.4 million. I repeat myself again. 1 Bitcoin in 2030 will be worth $2.4 million. It might be, it might not be, but it's not going to be $105,000. Today is $105,000, but I believe by 2030, it will not be less than $1 million. So, but when you have uncontrolled crypto, in other words, you start investing in all other cryptos that have no value. There are some of them without any intrinsic value. They're just rubbish. But there are premium cryptos like your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your Doge, your Binance coin. There's some very good crypto that you can invest in, but do your due diligence. I'm not advising to go into crypto, but uncontrolled crypto will keep you poor. Number 9 is greed. Greed will keep you poor. The reason why a lot of people lose money is someone shows up on the internet or send you an email. If you invest £1,000, you're going to get £20,000. Then, if you ever put your money into that, it's either you're daft or you're a thief, or maybe you're gullible. It's either you're daft, you're a thief, or you're gullible. There's nothing you can put £1,000 on and get £10,000. No, there's nothing like that. I know a few years ago, I put my money into Doge and I got about 6,000%, but that's rare. It does not work that way every time. Greed will make you poor. Don't be greedy. If you invest £1,000 in a year, if you get about £100 on it, that's 10%. You've tried. So £1,000, you get £100, you've done well. £10,000, you get £1,000, you've done well. 10% return on investment is very good. Even if you have 5%, it's excellent. The road to wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not 100 meters, it's not 200 meters, it's 10,000 meters. It's 1,500 meters. And it's 15,000 meters rather. It's a marathon. It's what you have to run for 20 years, for 30 years. I'm going to say this. Last year, I bought a stock called Palantir, Palantir. I bought it for $40. Now, Palantir today, I was checking this morning, is $145. So if you say you buy about 100 of Palantir, I bought some about around this time last year. If you buy 100 of it, by today, you'll have made about 14 or 13,000 pounds more. You understand? You've got to be strategic. Don't be greedy. Don't study things before you go into it. One of the reasons why I bought Palantir was that they had a contract with the US Defense. So they had a contract with the US Defense, and I saw this is a potential thing. The US might end up developing their defense system because of the war going on in Ukraine. I did not even know that something's going to happen in Iran. You understand? And Palantir is rising and it's still going to continue to rise. And number 10, and that's the final one, number 10, emotional spending. Emotional spending happens when you go out and you see something ready to buy, especially when you do window shopping. Oh, this will be good for me, and you buy. Now the question, do I need it? If I don't buy it, what's going to happen to me? So if you end up buying things emotionally without being logical with what you buy, you will definitely be poor. So if you do these 10 things, you are on the route, or what the Americans call the route to poverty. If you don't want to be poor, look at these 10 things, avoid doing them, and I'll see you on the other side of success. Don't forget to like, to share, and to hit the notification button. And also subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.